Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Happy Friday sa mga nanonood ngayon. Hi, everyone. So we'll wait while everybody's joining us. Okay, so on today's Karista Live TV, who's joining us today, so I'm Bernadette Laxamana, President of Karista Mortgage. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. And who else is with me? So we have Sheilla Samson, your relationship manager. Hi, Sheilla.
Hi, everyone.
We have Carol Cole, relationship manager here at Karista Mortgage. Hi, Carol.
Hi, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
And we have, of course, Rachelle Castillo, relationship manager here at Karista Mortgage. Hi, Rachelle.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is we're going to look back. It's a historical perspective. Ano po yung nangyayari sa fixed rate at sa variable rate or prime rate? And how is that impacting your mortgage and the market today? So we're going to look at that. And then after my presentation, we have 10 top first-time homebuyer questions. Yung ating relationship manager will be answering those. Kung meron po kayong questions, please type it in the chat box and we will answer them accordingly. So thank you po sa mga nanonood ngayon and feel free to jump in, comment, and ask your questions. Okay, here we go. So, marami pong mga tao, they want to know kung if they want to choose a variable rate mortgage, gaano kadalas ba ito nag-change? Like, how often does the rate change? And ano po yung nangyayari sa interest rate? So, let's look at prime rate history. So, ito po ang historical perspective from 2010 all the way to 2020. So, if you look at that, Noong 2010, ang prime rate was 2.5%. Pagkatapos, since that time, tumaas siya. So in 2010, tumaas siya 3 beses. But every time tuwing tumataas siya, if you notice, it's only a quarter, 0.25. So yung mga tao, pagka nag-variable ako, mabilis tumaas, mataas, baka tumaas ng 2%. No, as you can see, noong 2010, tumaas siya 3 beses, 0.25. And then, Noong 2015, tumaas siya 2 beses lang. Yeah? Actually, no. 2010, September, 3%, tapos bumaba. Diba? Noong 2015. So, between 2010 and 2015, hindi ho gumalaw ang prime rate. So, if you had a variable, parang fixed. Hindi gumalaw. So, then bumaba siya. And then, bumaba siya ulit. To 2.7. And then, after that, 2016, walang movement. Yung variable rate, you can see. And then, in 2017, tumaas siya. Maliit lang ang tinaas niya. And then, tumaas ulit. So, in 2017, tumaas siya 2 beses. And then, nung 2018, tumaas siya. 3 beses. And then, after 2018, look at that, bumaba siya ng ilang beses. So the moral lesson of the story, if you look at the historical rate ng interest rate, is this. Pag meron kayong variable rate mortgage, it can go up and it can go down. But if you had a variable mortgage during this period in the last 10 years, you will be ahead. Kasi even though it has gone up, it also has gone down. And the other thing that you have to remember is, yung rate na yan, that's the prime rate, but banks offer a discount. Sometimes, kung ano man yung rate na yan, banks will probably give you a discount. Nagre-range po yan 1%, maybe 0.5% or 0.75%. So, ibig sabihin, kung nakikita mong prime rate dito is 2.45 minus 1%, ang makukuha mong interest, 1.45. Okay, so yan po yung historical perspective. As you can see, again, I reiterate, if it moves, it only moves 0.25%. So in the last 10 years, ang prime rate, if you look at it, halos hindi gumalaw, di ba? Kasi 2010, 2.5, and ngayon ang prime rate is 2.45%. Kung gusto niyo namang malaman before that, ano po ba talaga nangyari sa prime rate? So we even have a history here from 2004. So you can see 4.25 dati yung prime, and over time, gumalaw siya, and every time it changes, it's by a quarter. So nagtumaas siya in 2005, 3 beses. 2006, 4 na beses. And then 2007, it went up a couple of times. And then 2008, bumaba. that was the crisis, if you recall, nagkaroon ng crisis in 2008, mortgage meltdown sa US. And so it was a tough time for a lot of people. So bumaba yung interest rate from that time. Every time the market or the economy is not doing so well, the prime rate drops. Okay? If the economy is doing well, the prime rate goes up. So, hindi mo alam kung anong gusto mong ipagdasal. Do you want the economy to do well or not? You don't know. So, yan po ang historical perspective when it comes to variable rate. If it goes up only by a quarter, it goes up, it goes down, but over time, it's been really fairly consistent. Ano naman po ang nangyayari sa fixed rate during those years from 2009 to 2020? What you are seeing here is average rate. Bakit po average rate? Kasi po, within the year, the fixed rate could change maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. So it's really hard to know kung ano, it's really hard to keep track kung ano po yung movement ng interest rate. So ito pong statistics na ito is just the average. Kung sa isang taon naggalaw siya ng 3 beses, sa 10 beses, ano yung average rate? So in 2009, ang average rate po is 4.09. In 2010, 11, 12. So during this period, nasa 3%, no? Around 3.5 if you average it out. And then in 2005 and 2020, naglalaro siya sa 2 point something, di ba? So what this means is in the last 5 years, the rate has been really low. Yun ang nakakatuwa sa kanya. Does that mean ito yung pinakamababang fixed rate nung time na yon? No. Ito po ang lowest fixed rate since 2005. So from 2015, no, 2015, ang lowest fixed rate that we've seen is 2.1. 2016, ayan po. 2018, the lowest fixed rate we've seen was 2.94. Tapos yung 2021, if you recall, that was the, because meron tayong COVID 2020, 2021. So yan yung pinaka-lowest na interest rate ng fixed na nakita natin from 2015 to 2021. Ano po ang magandang impact nung mabababang interest rates? According to Edge Realty Advantage, with interest rates so low, a homeowner borrowing today at prevailing rates and with a 25-year amortization will have paid off over 16% of their mortgage in the first 5 years alone. In the 1980s, it was 3.8%. So, dahil mataas ang interest rate noong 1980, so after 5 years, yung principal nyo, nabawasan nyo lang ng 3.8%. Noong 1990, 7.2%. And then noong 2000s, 11%. And then now, 16.2 po ng principal, mapipay off nyo within 5 years. So ang question is, how do I, para makita natin, ma-concretize natin kung ano talaga yun. So let's just say naghintay po kayong bumili at bumalik tayo doon sa ang average is nasa 3.5 because we did experience that nung time na, if you look at the chart here, yung average fixed rate natin, nitong period na to, let's say, yes, here in this period around this time, di ba? During this 2009, 2015, naglalaro siya sa around 3.5% pag in-average ninyo. Ano po mangyayari kung dumating yung panahon na bumalik tayo around 3.5%. Ito po ang ibig sabihin. More of your payment now will go to interest less towards principal. So, kung ang interest rate, naghintay kayo, ayaw niyo po nang bumili, tapos dumating yung tayo na bubalik tayo doon sa panahon na nasa 3.5. On a $500,000 home, ang magiging monthly payment po ninyo is $2,496. Sa 2,496, ang napupunta po sa interest, 1,448. And then, ang napupunta sa principal is 1,049. So, ang equity nyo, ang total na na-pay off nyo sa principal ng 500,000 na mortgage will only be 68,000. In today's rates, ito naman po yung ibig sabihin. Sa 2.09%, ang monthly nyo is nasa 2,139. So, ang difference na is almost over $300. Ano po? So, ang sa bayad nyo na yun, ang napupunta lang po sa interest 867 compared sa 1,448. no? Tapos ang napupunta sa principal dito, 1,272, samantalang kung mas mataas na rate, 1,049. And most importantly, ang equity ninyo sa current rate, after 5 years, 80,000. At 3.5%, 68,000 po ang mapupunta sa principal. Sabi po ni Winston Churchill, a pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity and an optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. So alam ko, a lot of people are saying it's so hard to borrow now, yung market is crazy, maybe I'll wait. Well, there is an opportunity right now. Ang opportunity po natin is this. Low rates means low payments, which I demonstrated earlier, means more savings and more equity. So yan po yung opportunity ngayon because you saw, I showed you na ito po yung lowest interest rate environment. And next week, on July the 9th, we're going to talk about the other thing too that you have to consider. Future mortgage rules will be tougher. So we've had a historical perspective na since 2008, the mortgage rules have changed 9 times, and I think there'll be more that's going to be coming. So if you want to know more about that, lahat po kayong nanonood ngayon, if you're renting, we have a first-time homebuyer webinar, Tagalog po, sa June 27, this Sunday. 2 o'clock po siya. Here's the link to register. Please go to that. And then if you're renting, makikita nyo ko po nangyayari sa mortgage rules. Why is it a great time to buy? Why is it a good time to own your home here? How do you do that? Ano yung mga gagastusin nyo? We have lawyer, Melissa Biyernes, and then we have Joey Palering, isang inspector, to talk about the inspection process. And of course, we have the rest of the Karista team. So now, that I talked about that, so hopefully natutunan ninyo kung ano yung nangyayari sa interest rate, and it gives you more comfort na right now, masarap pong humiram ng mortgage because the rates are super low. So it's a good opportunity. Parang kailan lang when I bought my first home, just so you know, this was way back in 1999. My interest rate on my house was 5.8% on a $230,000 home. So kung nag-hesitate kayong bumili ngayon at such a low rate environment, well, don't. Okay, so now we're going to ask some questions from our panelists. Okay, so meron po tayong mortgage questions. Kung meron po kayong questions, please type it in. But I do have some questions from our first-time home buyers sa ating wonderful relationship manager. So ang first question is, Carol, who are part of my dream team and do I need to pay them? So pag bumili po ako ng property, sino yun po yung sa dream team ko and kailangan ko ba silang bayaran? Carol?
Oh, that's a very good question to start with. Paano ba bumili ng bahay? Sino ba yung gagawin kong dream team as part of my journey sa pagbili ng bahay dito sa Canada? So first, you have to start with your mortgage broker. Bakit? Kasi you have to know how much ba yung pwede ninyong mabili, 'di ba? And then that's free. We don't have a mortgage broker fee. And then at the same time, maybe the bank will say, oh, if you go to the mortgage broker, they'll pay, you have to pay them something. No, we don't have that fee. And then the second would be is once nalaman mo na sa mortgage broker mo yung magkano yung pwede mong mabili, then you can work with your expert na realtors. Kailangan talaga you work with your expert mortgage broker and then expert na realtor kasi they're the one who's going to help you out na mahanap yung budget nyo na property na bibili nyo. Ano ba yung needs nyo? Ano ba yung nahanap ng family nyo? And then after you find the property, you're going to make an offer on that property. You have to look for the lawyer. Kung sino yung middle person naman for your bank and then sa inyo for the funding on that. So lawyer, meron yung bayad. So we're going to budget that for you when we do your pre-approval and when you purchase your property. We're going to give you that investment cost. And then after you close your mortgage or you close that buying the property na, you have to work with your insurance broker naman. Or you can go directly to the insurance company. Yan siya.
Okay, so thank you, Carol. So those are the people in your dream team. A lot of them you don't have to pay, but of course some you do. Okay, thanks, Carol. Next question is for you, Sheila. Makakakuha pa rin ba ng property kung wala kang available na amount for down payment? So wala akong pang down, makakabili pa rin ba ako?
That's a really good question, B. Sa pagbili po kasi, pagpabili ng property, meron tayong tatlong C's to lending. Unang-una po doon, ipagpalagay na natin yung pang down payment nyo. Kasi wala pong 100% financing sa Canada. Kailangan po 5% minimum down payment, meron kayong magagamit para sa pang down payment nyo. So ito po, kung wala kayong available down payment sa pera nyo, hindi pa rin po, wag gumuho ang mundo nyo dahil pwede pa rin kayong makabili. Sino ang pwedeng tumulong, saan natin kukuhanin ng pang down payment? Pwede po itong maging gift. Ang down payment po, kung wala kayong available at ang inyong magulang merong equity or merong pong savings, ang inyong mga kapatid o ang inyong lolo't lola ay meron, pwede po nila kayong bigyan ng gift na pang down payment. So don't lose hope, guys. Ang importante dito is una-una magpa-pre-approval yung inyong income, i-check natin yung capacity to pay. Pangalawa yung pang down payment, which is may panggagalingan yung gift kung wala kang available na savings ngayon, RRSP or TFSA. Pangatlo yung inyong credit. Okay? So hindi lang sa down payment nakasalalay ang pagbili nyo ng property. So marami kaming tinitingnan factors, kaya pwedeng-pwede pa rin. Okay? Tawag lang kayo sa amin.
Thank you. Now that since you've mentioned about gifting, Rachelle, when you say gifting for down payment, how does that work? Is there a limit allowed for this?
Oh, that's a good question. So, first of all, to expand on what Sheila said po, kailangan po ang gifter is immediate family. So, sister, brother, mother, father, or grandparents, pwede po. Okay, so normally how it works is when may property na kayo and we need to provide our 90-day history for our down payment, we essentially want yung gift na nandyan na sa account mo because we want to show the deposit statement na nandyan yung funds. Of course, some lenders will also require history kung saan nanggaling yung gift for the down payment, but others also just require a gift letter. There's no limit naman sa gift. It could be as high as 50% of what the property value is. But it's just gonna vary from lender to lender kung anong gusto nila for the documents for the gift letter.
Okay, so thank you for that, Rachelle. And we have some questions here. Thank you, BC Pinoy. Based po sa history ng Karista, magkano po ang pinakamababang interest rate for first-time home buyer na napa-approve sa lender or bank before pandemic and during pandemic? Oy, ang galing, oh. Ang ganda ng question niya. So this is the history of Karista. This is actually, I'm so glad that we researched this. So eto po yung lowest na interest rate. So yung 1.59 po ang lowest na interest rate nung 2021 na nakita ng Karista historically. Nung 2020, 1.84. So I guess that's a little bit during the pandemic. In 2019, before the pandemic, 2.5, 2018, 2.94, 2017, 2.24, 2016, 2.09, 2015, 2.1. So, based on this po, ang lowest was 1.59 sa kalagitnaan po ng pandemic. And that's a very good question, BC Pinoy, kasi kaya po sobrang baba. Kasi nga, because of what's happening in the economy, kaya po bumaba ng husto yung interest rate. So thank you for that question. So ang next question po natin is from Sheina. Hi, Sheina Kirubin. Hello, Dream Team. Asking for a friend. Are you allowed to have multiple realtors? And 2, is it illegal that a realtor will ask you to sign for a commitment form? Thank you po for all your help and answers. Oh, napakagandang question. Okay, ating team, Karista team, who wants to answer this question?
I'll answer that question, B. Hi, Shanna. How are you? Thank you for watching. So, yung unang tanong, I can answer that. Ang tinatanong mo dito is a really good question. Are you allowed to have multiple realtor? Normally, sinasuggest namin, as your mortgage broker, na when you're working with your realtor, parang mortgage broker, isa lang at a time. Pero kung naghahanap ka halimbawa ng bahay sa British Columbia at yung pangalawang ay at yung isa at naghahanap ka din ng opportunity na bahay pagpalagay na sa nanay mo, normally sasabihin namin ay maghanap ka ng realtor na expert sa nanay mo. Kasi yung realtor sa British Columbia, kahit na anong galing yan, hindi sila magiging expert sa nanay mo because they weren't there.
Sorry, Sheila. You mean maybe Vancouver or Surrey?
Yeah.
Ang nanay mo. Not British Columbia kasi.
Ay, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Oh, yeah. I would like, thank you for correcting me there, Ambi. Ibig sabihin dito sa Lower Mainland. Kung naghahanap ka sa Lower Mainland, you have to work with one realtor lang. Okay? Pero kung halimbawa, gusto mo ring malaman ng options mo sa nanay mo or sa Kamloops, you have to get another realtor there. Para lang yan mag-boyfriend and mag-girlfriend. Gusto mo ba namamangka ka sa dalawang ilog? Kung malaman ko na sa Suri ka lang naghahanap at ako pinaghahanap mo sa Burnaby, kaya ko din yun as a realtor. So, ma-hurt naman ako. Mas maganda na you work with the expert realtor that you have. Sabihin mo sa kanya kung ano yung needs mo, yung wants mo, and then I will guarantee you kung ano yung makikita niya, makikita din na lahat ng realtor na nandito sa Surrey at Vancouver. They will help you out kasi expert sila. Yung pangalawa mo namang tanong, is it legal that a realtor will ask you to sign for a commitment for I need your help here, B? Pero katulad namin, as a mortgage broker, meron din kami na consent form. Pero pagdating sa commitment form, this is something that B, is it legal?
Yes.
Oo.
So thank you. Tama si Sheila. If you are looking for a real property sa Lower Mainland, isa lang ideally ang realtor because they'll all show you the same anyway. And kung malalaman ng another realtor na you're working with someone, they might not give you that service that you are looking for. Also, kung hindi ka happy doon sa you're currently working with someone, it's okay to change. Just have the bravery to say, it's not working, we're not a fit, and you want somebody else, okay? Now, yung pagsasign. Some realtors, it's part of their process for you to sign the commitment to show your loyalty to them. Some realtors naman, they don't need you to sign something. So it boils down to sino po yung tumutulong sa inyo. It is legal to get you to sign, but it's not mandatory. Does that make sense? Hindi siya required legally for you to sign it to work with someone. It's preferred by some and not required by others. So hopefully nakatulong yung answer na yon for you and it helps you know what to do for the next step. Okay, Shanna, so thank you. Hello, Sheila, and a fan of everyone. So thank you, Shanna. Okay, any other questions? Just make sure you type it in. Those are excellent, excellent questions. Alam ko nakakatulong sa lahat. So everybody who's watching, just so you know, kung nahihiya kayong magtanong, I'm pretty sure yung classmate ninyo gusto ring tanungin, kaya lang nahihiya. So please ask the question for your classmate kung nahihiya kayo. Okay? Okay, you're welcome, Shanna. Next question. Carol, maibabalik po ba yung deposit or the down payment pag nag-back out ka? So pag nag-offer ako sa property, nagbigay ako ng deposit, maibabalik pa ba yun pag nag-back out ka? Carol.
Okay, that's a very good question. Hey, so kung kanina sinabi ko sino yung dream team na kine-create nyo? I think I missed part of that, yung pagiging due diligence. Si realtor, once na nakahanap na siya ng property for you, you have to do your due diligence. So magpapa-inspect ka ngayon dun sa property na binibili mo once we secured your approval for that specific property. And then if there's no problem at all, walang challenge na nakita yung ating bangko on that property, income is signed off, your down payment is signed off, and your inspector gave you the report and it's all good sa iyo, you did your due diligence with your mortgage broker and inspector and realtors, then it's up to you to decide if you are going to give that deposit on that specific day, which we call it subject removal date. So once you give that deposit on that specific date, you have to make sure you are 100% decided na you want that property. Bakit? Because 99.9% there's no way of returning yung deposit na binigay mo doon sa seller. Siguro sa Supreme Court, sa korte na kayo magkikita, and you should have a very, very valid reason bakit ibabalik sa'yo yung deposit. And it costs you a lot of money para ibalik sa'yo doon. But it happens though. Recently lang, we have a client that nabalik sa kanila deposit and down payment. It's because there's a problem or challenge na meet dun sa seller side. So, yun siya. So, you can. It's hard. Yeah.
Okay, yes. So, very good question and good answer, Carol. Pagdating po sa deposit, moral lesson, before you release that money, make sure you're 299% sure that you're going to complete with that purchase. Next question, Sheila. Anong ibig sabihin ng freehold and may effect ba yun sa price?
Oh, that's a really good question, B. Yung freehold po, ito po yung ownership natin is unlimited. Wala pong limitasyon. Ang counterpart naman ito is yung leasehold, kung saan pag bumili ka ng property, may limited ang ownership mo, normally up to or maximum to 99 years lamang. So, ibig sabihin, may effect ba yun sa price? Napakalaki po. Kasi po, mas mura. Mas mura pag naka-leasehold yung property, ang freehold mas mahal. Bakit? Kasi sa'yo yan eh. May papamana mo yan sa henerasyon, sa ikalawa, ikatlo, limang henerasyon sa'yo. Walang limit ang ownership mo, kaya mas mahal po siya. Okay?
Ayan. So, yeah. So, kung meron po kayong tinitignan na property na leasehold, parang isipin nyo pag meron kayong kotse, naka-lease, di ba, hindi inyo, versus own. Ganon din po ang freehold sa inyo, leasehold, parang sasakyan, you're leasing, you're not owning. We have another question po from Sheina. Sheina says, follow-up question, Carol, what if may nakita si inspector na problema sa house? Bumababa ba ang price ng house?
Yeah, hi Ate Shadalyn, magandang hapon. Thank you for watching us again. And yes, we can. Pag kami nakita yung inspector ninyo on that specific property that you want to buy, and it's your realtor's job to negotiate it on the seller side kung pwede bang ayusin ni seller side yung nakita sa report ni inspector, or pwede bang ibawas na lang to dun sa purchase amount na binibili ninyo, or pwede rin naman na ibigay rin sa inyo yung pagpapaayos nitong property or yung pagpapaayos na nakita ni inspector ninyo. But again, due diligence yung gagawin nyo. O kung gaano kalaki ba yung aayusin, or baka mild lang naman na makakapag-apekto doon sa inyong bibili na property.
Okay, great question, Sheina. Okay, and then another question from Julius. Hi, Julius. Thanks for watching us. Paano po nagwo-work ang purchase plus improvement? Yay! So, who wants to answer this, guys?
I'd love to answer it. Hi, Julius. Hi from Newfoundland. So, ang purchase plus improvement po, para itong, kasi hindi lahat ng mga bahay na makikita mo sa market perpekto. May mga bahay na kailangang ayusin, pero mas mura, mas maganda, mas mura at kaya ng budget mo, di ba? So dito papasok ang home plus improvements. Kaya lamang tatandaan nyo na kailangan pag ikaw merong bahay na tinitinan na kailangan mo ipa-renovate or ipaayos, cover siya ng pre-approval mo. For instance, approve ka ng 400,000. Yung bahay na kita mo medyo kailangan i-work out pero 250,000 lang. So, ibig sabihin, meron kang 150,000 na pwedeng hiramin sa bangko para sa home plus improvements. Okay, so ano ang proseso? Unang-una, pag nakakita mo yung bahay at ikaw ay na-in love dahil ito ay first mong bahay, ang unang-una mong gagawin, magpa-quotation ka kaagad. Magkano magagastos mo dito sa bahay na ayusin? Doon sa home plus improvements, kailangan lang po renovation ha, hindi po pwede yung fencing, hindi po pwede ang appliances, talagang renovation lang ng property. So once you have that quote at saka yung offer natin, na accepted yung offer mo, para sabay po nating ia-apply ngayon sa bangko yung home plus improvements. So pag na-receive na natin yung approval at nag-close na yung property, meron kang 120 days para ipaayos lahat ng inilagay mo doon sa quotation. Bakit? Para i-issue sa iyo ngayon ng bangko yung 150,000 na pera na ibabayad mo doon sa Home Plus Improvement. Ang challenge lang dito is papaluwalan mo muna yung yung pagpapa-renovate mo and ibabalik naman ito sa iyo. So yun po yung proseso. Kaya doon sa mga nakakakita ng yung Home Plus Improvements, that's a really good question. Kaya pwede nyo i-inquire yan every time na may nakikita kayong property na may iaayusin sa loob. Okay? Hope I
That's a
answered your
very
question.
yeah, that's a very good question. Sa ating first time homebuyer webinar on Sunday, if you want to join us, we are going to be talking about that. Ano yung involved, ano yung pwede niyo pong i-improve, magkano, and all of that. So if you want to join us po sa Sunday, sa ating first time homebuyer, we're going to talk more about that. Maganda po yung purchase plus improvement because just imagine kung ang interest mo 2%, di ba? You are spending only 2% para dun sa renovation. So it's a really cheap way of making a house into a home. Okay? And the bank's gonna pay for that for you. Yun nga lang, ikaw muna, but the bank will give you the money after. So very good question po, Julius. Thank you. And then Sienna said, got it. Thank you so much. Alvin Aquino has a question. Hello, Karista team. Hello. Advantage and disadvantage of a fixed and variable. When to go fixed from variable, to break on a fixed or variable mortgage, which is better, and at what cost is the penalty? So we're going to, napakagandang question po ito. So we will send you a link because we did a comparison, we did a video, what's the fixed and variable. So we're just looking for that, sure. And then we're going to give you the benefits and disadvantages on the video that we did. We did one in English and we did one in Tagalog. So basically po, ang fixed, as the name implies, it's not gonna change. For 5 years, kung ano man yung naumpisa mong rate, yun yung magiging end rate mo after 5 years. Kung ikaw po, very risk-averse, nervyoso, nagkakaroon ng anxiety attack, pag narinig mo baka mag-change yung interest rate, fixed rate mortgage will be probably a better route for you. Kung naman mas gusto po ninyo na technically mas mababang rate over time, because studies have shown the people who've done variable have done very well for themselves, so mas nakasave sila ng pera. Yun nga lang, may kalakip na uncertainty. It can go up, it can go down, it can go up, it can go down. So based on the conversation that we had earlier, makikita nyo na yung historically, mababa po ang average ng variable rate mortgage over time. Ang benefit po ng variable rate mortgage, ang penalty lang po niya is 3 months interest, whatever you do, whenever you decide that you want to break the mortgage, refinance, and do something. And kung meron kang variable, you can change it into a fixed at any time, but you have a fixed, you cannot change into a variable. So that's a summary of that, but I said there's a link here, ayan po, fixed and versus variable rate. Feel free to watch that because we get deeper into the difference between the two. So thanks, Alvin. Hopefully that answers that question. Okay, next question po is, this for Rachelle. Will first-time homebuyer be exempted from property transfer tax if the house you want to buy is more than 500,000?
That's a good question, B. So no, but yes. So no, because the property transfer tax exemption for first-time home buyers is no longer applicable if the property value is above 500,000. I know there are some exemptions with when you go up to 515,000, you're exempt for 3,300, 200. I mean 3,320. Pero for the most part, kung lumampas po kayo sa 500,000, you're no longer exempt from it. However, kung bago po yung property and it's never been lived with, so if you're buying a pre-sale or you're buying a new existing property that's never been occupied, never been owned by anyone else, then you're exempt from property transfer tax for up to 750,000. So you're saving about 10,000 there. But another thing you have to take into account when you're purchasing a property that's new is my 5% GST that's added to the purchase price.
Ayan, so very good answer, Rachel. Thank you so much. Everybody who's watching, if you have any questions, follow-up, or comments, please type it in. Sheila, do I need to pay my outstanding debts to ensure I will get approved? Do I need to do that first?
That's a good question. No and yes. So it depends. Meron po kaming mga client, marami actually kaming kliyente na akala nila kailangan kaya natatakot magpa-pre-approve o tumawag sa amin kasi may car loan, may student loan, may credit card, 3,000 daw ang kanilang balanse, kailangan daw ba nila yung bayaran? Hindi. Hindi kayo kailangang magbayad sa ngayon. Kailangan muna naming makita ano ba yung nilalaman ng inyong ano ba yung inyong income, ano ba yung inyong credit score, ano ba yung inyong available na down payment para kayo makabili ng bahay. Hindi lang po yung utang ang tinitingnan namin. Mayroong mga kliyente rin kami na kailangan nilang i-pay off yung some of their debt, pero some of their debts lang. Meron din naman kailangan lahat. So para ikaw mawala yung iyong katanungan, para maliwanagan ka, kailangan namin laging makita yung complete scenario. Hindi pwedeng sabihan mo lang kami na ang utang ko ganito, ma-approve ba ako? Hindi ko alam. Ang sagot namin, hindi namin alam. Kasi kailangan namin 3 yung factors na tinitingnan, hindi lang yung utang. So kung may utang kayo, rest assured, sasabihin namin sa inyo kung kailangan bayaran o hindi. Pero ang amin lang po magagaranti, napakarami naming kliyente na nakabili na may utang. So wag kayong mahihiya at wala namang bayad po ang inyong pagtatanong sa amin. Kaya tawag lang at mag-register po kayo doon sa aming first time homebuyer webinar sa Sunday. Okay po?
Okay. Ayan. So that's a very good comment. And also we have a discovery call. So if you want to book a discovery call with any of our ladies, Sheila, Carol, Crystal is not here with us today. Rachel, please book a discovery call and then we will share that with you. They will share kung ano yung dreams nyo and desires ninyo, and then kung kailangan nyo bang bayaran o hindi, you will certainly know that ahead of time. Okay, so Rachel, ano po ang payo ninyo para sa first-time home buyer na nagko-consider to buy a pre-selling property?
Okay, so good question, B. One of the things that we'd always tell our clients with pre-selling properties is, unang-una, we want to make sure that you get a pre-approval muna. Bakit? Kasi we want to make sure that you're able to afford the house come such time that it's built. However, what we also want to make sure is that throughout the time from when you purchase the property, put the deposit down, up until when it's built, you want to make sure that your income doesn't change, your credit doesn't change, that you have, the available funds for the down payment dapat nasa property na. Pero you want to make sure that those things don't change, because come such time that the completion date comes, and we will get some challenges if we were to drop a job or if we were to drop our credit score. Another thing is, like Dee mentioned po, the mortgage rules are always changing. So one thing we're not going to be able to determine when you're doing your pre-approval is kung tumaas po yung stress test rate, kung tumaas yung interest rate. So there are some risks to it, especially moving into it being from 1 year from now. So we want to just make sure that we keep the fundamentals the same until such time na completion date na siya.
Wow. Thanks, Rachel. That's an excellent answer, and that's very clear. And we have a question from Julius. Another question. Thank you, Julius. If I already have a pre-approval for a certain amount, then I manage to pay big portions of my debt, posible pa po ba mag-ask ng new approval maybe if there's a chance to increase the amount na pwedeng bilhin? Who wants to answer that?
I can answer that one. Hi, Julius. Very good questions. You can, if ever that kung sa amin ka nagpa-pre-approve, which you are, pre-approve sa amin, gagawin lang sa'yo ng relationship manager mo is you just have to give a quick call and you just have to inform us ano yung bayaran mo. We will just edit it your pre-approval, and we will update your file. So that's a good thing. And then we can give you the approximate amount kung magkano kapag ito yung mga nabayaran mo, and then magkano yung pagka hindi natin babayaran to in the future pagka nakabili ka na ng bahay. So we will give you 2, 3 scenarios.
Ayan. So that's a very good question. Thank you, Julius. Lodi. Hi, Ate Lodi Fel. Hi, Karista team. Are there do's and don'ts pag malapit na yung fifth year or guess the maturity of the mortgage? That's a good question. Who wants to answer?
I'll answer. Hi,
Okay.
Ate Lodi. How are you? I miss you. I miss talking to you. Yes, may mga do's and don'ts tayo. Like what I said, I mentioned when the last time that we talked, ang pwede natin gawin is like 1 year or 2 years prior sa iyong mortgage renewal, mas maganda is we always take care of our credit score, lalo na may mortgage na tayo. Kasi it's still going to affect yung interest rate that we're going to get para sa inyo before your mortgage renewal. So that's what the advantage of working with a mortgage broker is kausap niyo na kami from the start that you purchase your property. So we know your plans, we know your files. So what we can do is we will visit you an annual. We're doing an annual checkup for you guys para at least we will check if there's anything that you want to do with your mortgage or your equity, then we will give you an options first before we do the mortgage renewal.
Ayan. So that's a good comment. And also, if there's anything for you guys to remember here today, please talk to us before you talk to your bank for your renewal, because we will tell you if it's a good offer or not. So make sure you do that. Anytime that you want to change your mortgage, please come back to us, because if it's a benefit to you, we will actually encourage you to take the offer. But if it's not of benefit to you, we may say you may have to renegotiate or wait. But anything the major that you have to do your mortgage, please come back to us. So thanks, Ate Lodi. Ayan. Okay, so any other questions, please make sure you type it in. We love your questions more than these questions I'm reading. No. I love them both because all of these questions come from other first-time home buyers as well. So Carol, on checking the capacity of the buyer to pay, required po bang i-present lahat ng bank accounts? Or enough na ibigay lang, for example, yung isa o dalawang bank accounts, which could cover na the required down payment?
Ooh, I love this. This is the challenging part of my job kasi. Sa amin. Okay, so yes, kapag enough naman yung iyong balance dun sa existing accounts na ipapakita mo sa amin, then that's enough. But as your mortgage broker, we will ask you first when we secure approval para sa binibili mong property. Ask namin saan ba manggagaling yung down payment at closing cost or investment cost mo. Then we will check it there. We will ask you kung ano yung mga bank accounts that you can submit it. If it's enough para sa dun sa down payment and closing costs, then clear yon and the lender won't ask for anything. Then we will submit that. We won't ask for any other bank statements then. Because why? The reason why they're asking for the bank statements because just to refrain yung money laundering. They want to see that one. That's why we have to sign off the source of down payment.
Ayan. And we always believe in the principle less is more. If we don't have to show it, we won't.
Yes.
Because it's going to open up more questions. We don't want to answer more questions. So very good question. Okay, next question po. Rachelle, kung hindi ako happy sa mortgage broker na ka-deal ko, pwede bang mag-ask ng second or third opinion sa iba?
Okay, yeah, that's a good
Hindi.
question. Yeah, so you know, with a mortgage broker, you want an expert mortgage broker. They're part of your dream team. And we want to make sure that, of course, you're comfortable with them because they're guiding you through this very complicated process of purchasing your first home or refinancing your mortgage. However, like we've mentioned, it is also so if you do want to feel more comfortable, you know, going to us, then it is okay naman to ask for another mortgage broker's opinion. But however, like we said with the realtors naman, it's like a relationship. So you don't want one person, you know, putting all of the love and attention into your relationship, tapos they find out you're with somebody else. It hurts their heart. So you want to make sure naman that you're also, if you were to not be comfortable with one mortgage broker, it's okay naman to, I guess, break up with that mortgage broker and find a new one.
Yes.
Exactly. So it's okay to change. Just don't do it at the same time. Parang boyfriend, hindi magandang may tatlong boyfriend or tatlong
Mm-mm.
girlfriend sabay-sabay. Isa-isa lang. Kung hindi ka
Because
happy sa isa, di makipag-break ka
yeah,
in a very respectable manner. And then as mortgage brokers, we understand. Sometimes it's not a fit. Like I can't be everybody's best friend, right? Minsan, that's why we have a team. Some people don't like me, but they like Sheila. Or some people don't like Sheila, they like Rachel, or they prefer Carol. So that's why here at Karista, there's other people in the team that can help you. And then if you're working for a different mortgage broker, different realtor, sometimes it's not a fit. It's okay. It's personality, not personal. So that's a good question.
meron lang siyang
Yes.
3 months
Yes.
rule.
Meron siya 3 month rule. Ano yung
Sa
3 month
break
rule?
sa breakup kasi 'di ba, kapag nakikipag-break ka sa boyfriend mo, may 3 months rule to move on. So yun siya.
There you go. Napakagaling. Yeah. So, it hurts us
It
for
breaks
three
my
months.
heart.
Pagka nakipag-break ka sa amin, mayroon kaming
Hard to
heartbroken
move
kami for
on,
3 months, right,
yes.
Carol?
Yeah, because we love you.
Yes. There you go. So thank you everybody for joining us today. I don't see any other questions. Just a friendly reminder, we're always doing this where we are sharing a lot of educational materials or information with you. Please follow us on social media here, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Every week we have tag talks and Karista Finance Minutes talking about different real estate or mortgage related information. And again, sa Sunday po, please join us for first time homebuyers, yung mga nagre-rent ngayon. Please join us so you learn more about why it's a good idea to buy a home, how to do it, the different down payment options, do's and don'ts pagdating sa pagbili ng property. And you'll hear more from our expert panelist, our expert lawyer and inspector. Meron pa padang question. What is the difference between a regular mortgage versus a reverse mortgage? That's a very good question, Alvin. So, ang regular mortgage po is over time bumababa yung balanse. And typically, regular mortgage, maganda po, mababa po yung interest, like what I said, nasa 2%. A reverse mortgage is really for seniors. Okay? Dito po, kasi sa Canada, marami pong seniors na maraming equity sa bahay but they don't have income. So gusto po nila na wala masyado silang binabayaran sa mortgage. So the reverse mortgage, as it indicates, pa-reverse. The balance goes up over time. Kasi po ang nangyayari, every month you're getting more and more money from the mortgage that they're giving you every month. Or maybe you have the principal, yung interest ina-add, or you're not paying interest on it, whichever. So basically, reverse mortgage is for seniors na gusto po nilang i-take advantage yung equity po nila sa bahay and they don't have to pay the monthly payment. So how does it get paid off? Okay, how do I phrase this? If they pass on, so it will be paid off from the sale of the home. So yun po yung mangyari. Or maybe the insurance that it's going to kick in. So yun po siya. So it's hedging on the death of the borrower. Kaya po reverse. It's not going down. It's going up or it's not being paid. So I hope that answers that question. Alvin, hello po, Kuya Alfred. Nice to see you here. Thanks for watching us. Okay, before we end, any further comments? I want to hear from our beautiful relationship managers. Let's start from you, Rachel.
Any comments? Yes, please come watch our first time home buyer webinar. There's a lot that you guys are gonna learn there. It's like watching a movie, and I know it's hot outside, but you can watch it while you're outside enjoying with some drinks and with your family and with some food.
There you go. Thanks, Rachel. Carol?
Yes, I would like to invite you to please mag-register po kayo sa aming first time home buyer online seminar, and it's free, and I hope you can give time to learn new things and how to invest in a property or like purchasing your first home dito sa Canada, and it doesn't cost you anything pa, okay?
Nice. And Sheila?
At dahil mainit sa linggo, baka kayo matusta, manood kayo ng first time home buyer webinar namin. 2 to 4 po yun. After nun, pwede na kayong lumabas, makulimlim na. So, wag po kayong, wag po kayong mag-alala. Wala pong bayad yung pagre-register nyo doon sa webinar at marami po kayong matututunan. So, see you po on Sunday.
Okay, thank you. And Kuya Alfred, when the pandemic is over, by any chance we can get together for sure. That'll be lovely. We would love to see you guys. We miss getting together with you. Thank you po, Kuya Alfred. Thank you, everybody, for watching us. So we'll see you again in another edition on Karista Live TV. Bye, everybody.